Miracles of Mitch is more than a foundation. It's really the daily good works inspired by a 9-year-old boy to help the families of children battling cancer.
It was my turn to spend the night with Mitch in the hospital. It was Christmas of 2002. And there was a family crying next door. The dad had been, they ran out of money, didn't have anywhere to stay. The dad was actually living in the back of the pickup truck, and this was winter months. They couldn't afford Christmas and didn't have any gifts, and meanwhile Mitch was getting all these gifts, and he looked at me and he just had tears rolling down, and he said, "Dad, what can we do for these families?" You know, he had some money in the bank, and he chose to give that money away. Went around and dropped it off at all the rooms, and dropped it off on nightstands, slipped it under doors, put it on pillows, and we were running down the hallway, and I was pushing the wheelchair, and we got in the elevator. My son looked at me and he goes, "Dad, that was a blast. Can we do this every year?" And I said, "You know what, you're probably not going to be here next year." Because he said he knew he was dying, and it was then that we sealed it with a pinky swear that after he was gone, that we would continue on and help other families. So
it just gives us something so positive to live for each and every day, knowing that because of through Mitch, we're able to help these other families. When your child is diagnosed with cancer, all the day-to-day things that you would normally do all of a sudden become a burden. There are many families that don't have the support, maybe coming from hundreds of miles away for treatment.
One of the parents may have to quit a job or drastically reduce the number of work hours. Often they've tapped out their health insurance.
Many families have been shoving the bills in a drawer or a box for months, and so we really believe in being able to turn around those requests as quickly as possible.
how awesome is it to get a grant request on the 15th and be able to have a check in front of them by the 17th? You know, it's almost unheard of. You know, with so many other organizations, and it's got to go through a board, it's got to go through a panel, you got to wait 30 to 60 days. Miracles of Mitch, we're going to make miracles happen right now.
One example of the way the Miracles of Mitch Foundation helps these families is through our Home Rescue Team program. This is a program that helps families make a mortgage payment, maybe pay their rent, maybe pay their property tax for a particular month or more. And in some instances, maybe even help with lawn care or something like that that they don't have time to keep up on because they're at the hospital so often.
You know, the unique thing about our foundation is that we're able to offer all the things that people don't typically necessarily think about all the time. You know, the grocery cards, the gas cards, the mortgage payments, the car payments.
We really want to be able to take the stress away from the families, helping them with those day-to-day quality of life needs so that they can create the quality of life memories that they need together as a family. The Cancer Kids Camp has become a wonderful program that we're able to provide for children that are currently going through cancer, those that are in remission, and also for their siblings.
So often the siblings are actually left out during an extended treatment.
It's not just the parent's life that's turned upside down, it's also the other children.
They can be kids in a camp atmosphere. There are trained oncology physicians and nurses on site.
You know, it's really cool. Mom and Dad get a break, brothers and sisters or friends, you know, get together and you know, they're all in this thing together, and they get to just have fun.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you had a good time.
One of the primary ways that we raise money for these very important programs is through fundraising events. For instance, there's our MiracleKids Triathlon, which is actually one of the largest kids triathlons in the country.
Here's a great way to get your kids involved with an awesome charity on tonight's Brick at Play.
It's not an event where kids need to practice too much for. In fact, some of the kids get off their training wheels one day, race the next day.
The great thing about the MiracleKids Triathlon is we've got 5-time Master World Champion Tony Schiller as our race director. How cool is that? We designed a race where kids are racing for kids who can't. And we do that by putting the name of Cancer Kids on their leg. I put that moment when all of the kids line up to start the race in their little swim caps, and kids 7 to 17 years old. I put that moment in the same sequence as my son dying in my arms. It's just very powerful.
What's from way back there?
There's also our Miracle Open Golf Invitational. I guarantee this is like no other golf event you'll ever attend.
Who's the man with the plan here?
It's deemed a professional golf event for immature adults.
Are you kidding me?
There's a lot of fun, a lot of games, and I guarantee it's an event you will never forget.
This one's for you, Mitch.
For the sportsmen and women out there, we have the Shoot for a Miracle, which is a competitive clay event, shooting clay pigeons at 18 different stations. Other organizations also hold fundraisers for us. For instance, the Family Fun Day with the Minnesota Twins.
Number 21 from Orno.
Minnesota Twins provide a portion of the ticket sales to Miracles of Mitch. They offer a suite that we can host the VIP cancer families that are coming for the ball game. Also have a picnic and silent auction, so everything is there for our great day at the ballpark.
That's a curveball right there. That gets a strikeout.
Well, why don't we get you guys checked in?
Many people don't realize that just about every weekend out of the year, Miracles of Mitch Foundation has something very special for cancer families, and it's called the Minnesota Miracle Weekend. And this is done through a special partnership with the Hilton MSP Airport and the Mall of America.
I mean, honey, is it not one of your favorite things? I mean, it's so cool. I mean, these kids come right through the doors at the Hilton every Friday, and they're skipping and they're running with their little overnight bags, and the little bald kids in their bandanas and their wacky hats. And
the families check in, the adults get one room, the kids get one room, so they can have a little fun but still be separate. There are age-appropriate toys for the child and their siblings or friends that come along. We send them to Nickelodeon Universe and to Underwater World, a shopping spree at the Mall of America.
It's something that happens each and every weekend. I mean, just great.
So everything is there for a very memorable weekend for these families. Our fundraising year really culminates in our Minnesota Miracle New Year's Eve celebration, which is a family gala. And you don't see a lot of family activities going on for New Year's.
The New Year's Eve Gala is really a fundraiser to help support this program that goes on 51 weeks out of the year. Oh, what a blast. We get a new and fun big dance band every year. We've got stuff for the adults, we've got stuff for the kids. We have a five-course plated served dinner for everybody in the ballroom. We've got kids games going on the whole time, bingo and prizes and movies and foosball and Wii and PlayStation 3 and silent auction and live auction. And guess what? Mom and Dad can stay at the hotel with their kids. They can bring their nannies. They can do whatever they want. And instead of going home in the cart, they get to take the elevator to floors 1 through 12 and go home for the night. And then they wake up to a huge Hilton-style miracle breakfast. It's awesome.
Here for the future and the Miracles of Mitch Foundation.
All the proceeds go to the Miracles of Mitch Foundation to help fund this program throughout the year. It's truly our funnest night of the year. We just love it. The cool thing is we have a lot of families now making this their yearly thing that have lost a child, as we have. And it's a way for all of us to come together and really give back. Mitch's legacy lives on through the Miracles of Mitch Foundation. Join us in expanding that legacy. Please support the Miracles of Mitch Foundation.